these 3 cards right here. And Inspirational 3. Plus I moved 2 perks off of Intelligence, which is 8. It was weird because I got 2 more and I only leveled up 7. I don't know exactly how the math is working, but the math is working. I only leveled up 7 times yesterday, and for some odd reason I made 9 moves on my deck. I'm not sure exactly how, but that's what I did. I've got 1 more move. Intelligence. 2. Agility. And then I need to move 1 from luck. 2 perception. That's basically the bare minimum I can run there. I've got 9 here. That means I need to replace lockpick with guns and add 1 to tank killer. And I've got no guns at all. I got Grenader. If I can figure out what to do about my weight, I need to remove strong back and replace it with barbarian, martial artist, and a card I do not have yet.
I don't have any idea what it done.
Alright. Anyway, wasting time.
Huh? Still ain't even touching it. There's something way back on the back.
Them. I quit using the crossbows. Got my backpack yesterday.
Who could do the potatoes?
Let's see if anybody's got a private server.
The skillet's right there. It's not touching the damn thing.
Alcohol. Gourd flowers. Where did I find gourd flowers at?
I know, dude. I can't get my hand in there.
Potato flowers. There's a potato flower font somewhere. I don't have to think about it. Private servers, anyone with a private server. Don Paul. Good iron. Don Paul's up too. See if he has a party. Alright, Don Paul. Yeah, what are you up to? Yeah, I just got in. I was looking for somebody on a private server for me to shoot a nuke off on. Okay. It was either you or Gridiron, and I thought, well, you would probably there with the Gridiron's been a little distant the last couple times. Oh, he's a guy. He's ex-military, and he went into tried to teach school. He wanted to be a coach, and I don't know what happened, but he teaches little league football or something like that there on the side, and I don't know what he does for a living. And that's why his name's Gridiron, because he teaches little league football. I don't know. He got kind of vague, like he didn't want to discuss it. And I don't like to pry. It's not, if you don't want to open up and discuss things with me, I don't expect you to, so, Yeah, I don't. The lawsuit that's on TV with the earplugs? HJ's part of that. Yeah, HJ's part of that generation. There with the ones that had the crappy earplugs that damaged the eardrums. Yeah, he's part of that, and I don't know if he's involved in the lawsuit or not, but he's part of that. He has partial hearing problems and post-traumatic stress disorder and he started working at the dollar store, he said. Finally, which was good news. He was going to the doctor a lot, and when I there with the yeah. Who? Yeah. Yeah. That's how the U.S. government works, all the way to the top. Yeah,
but you were,
yeah,
according to the technical order. Now, they can't bring a technical order into a courtroom because that's classified information. So all they got to do is go find a sheet, the engineer, signed off, said, well, you did, you know he did, when actually he did. So that's how the military gets around all this shit.
yeah.
You know,
That's kind of what HJ said he
because
was
lots
going
of people
through.
had damaged ears and stuff like that. I got ringing in my ears, but there's no way to claim it.
Yeah, that's kind of how HJ said he was going through there with. He was in the repair, works on cars and equipment and stuff like that. Is what he was, and technically he wasn't in the action zone, but he
Well,
was
you
like
don't have to be in an
he was
action
talking
zone.
like he was close enough that bombs were going off and and
Yes.
he was being blamed for faulty equipment and they weren't doing proper maintenance and stuff like that because they were on patrol and vehicles being damaged and friends being killed, that kind of crap he was talking about.
Yeah.
And so with
But even if you're not in a maintenance outfit or in actual combat, there's a lot of noise that goes around. Engines running, auxiliary power units, and they go way over the threshold of fear. You know?
yeah, and but there with I didn't question him or doubt him or anything because I mean, first of all, I was not there standing beside him, so I can't question what he claims because I was not there. And second of all, what he's claiming isn't unreasonable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And a lot of native
You
people
know,
went
and
over to Iraq. They were in tents and shit like that. And you're right, they were bombing right there. You know?
yeah, and then to top it all
Heck, they were
off,
lucky. They were lucky. They were lucky they weren't in that same hotel that got blasted by that percussion bomb that they blew off in a vehicle. You know,
yeah.
it destroyed one of the things they were in a different
Well, and
place
then
for my friends and stuff, but and for the other people who were in the other place.
to top it all
Um,
off, there with him, uh, uh, he went through all that training and all those years being in the field of repair and engineering. I mean, it's an engineering, maintenance engineering degree, but it's still engineering, that he has experience in. And then he got out of the military and he's been unemployed pretty much since he got out. And he can't find work. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it just, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, if he's experienced in in maintenance engineering, then he should be able to get a job in maintenance engineering, even if it's for the government. He should be able to get a job in maintenance engineering.
well, what did he actually do? He said he worked on cars,
Uh,
vehicles.
yeah, vehicles and equipment. Yeah,
What kind of equipment? Like motor pool.
yeah, like motor pools, from what I grasp.
Yeah, they might call it. They call those funny names to. He's a car mechanic, or he can fix other things too. You know, but still, um, like when you get out in the real world, most places want you to have, some kind of certification from school or something like that before they'll let you in their garage to work on cars. Like Ford has their stuff and Chevy has their stuff.
Yeah, I knew a guy who worked for the Ford Motor Company, and he went to college for 2 years before they would hire him to do anything except change oil and tires. And he had to get he had his 6 months degree, and he had almost his year degree before they would hire him to change oil.
Well, I don't think it's that bad because, like, if you go to a
Well,
train
he
school,
said he had
train
12
job,
years of college. He said he had 12 years of college to get the job that he was working right now for Ford.
I don't know because
That's
when
what
I was
he
a kid,
said. Because
people go to
Well, I was trying to get him to.
Mechanics listen.
Yeah.
And when they get hired on by, like, say, a dealership or something like that, then they'll turn around and send them to a school specifically for those vehicles. Now, they don't cover the complete maintenance of it, but they familiarize them with their car, because they already know how to tear a transmission. All transmissions are the same, except, they got different sensors, different locations.
Yeah, it's different. It's different bolt
So all they have
sizes
to do is just
and
learn the
stuff.
specifics of that car.
Yeah.
And well, some don't do too bad.
Well, I knew some people here locally that they're uh were I don't know how do I explain this being political. They knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who worked at the local car dealership. And they were employed at the car dealership back when I was making $4.25 an hour, and they were making $8.75 an hour, vacuuming cars out and buffing them with a buffer. And they basically didn't even have a high school diploma. I mean, they had a high school diploma, but they basically didn't have a high school diploma. I mean, it was if they didn't have somebody explain to them how to buff a car, I don't think they would have understood how to buff a car.
Well, my sister was in there. My older sister, she's in the Navy way back when, just for 4 years. And when she got out, she got a job at the Chevy plant building Chevys. Okay. Now, the only thing she knows how to do with a Chevy car is put license plate on it before the car rolls out. That was her job.
Yeah.
Got paid ridiculous amounts of money for that. Just to throw a license plate on it. Or license plate cover.
Yeah.
So,
Well, see, the guy at the Ford dealership, I was trying to get him to get me hired on at the Ford dealership doing something like cleaning the used cars out when they come in for trades, like those guys were. And the Ford dealership wouldn't hire me, and that was the story that he told me when he tried to sit me down and explain to me that he couldn't even use his pool with the dealership to get me a job there.
well, the thing with a lot of places, a lot of companies do that nepotism. It just doesn't mean family, it means, friends and stuff like that. A lot of places.
Because yeah, well, he agreed with me with the fact that his word alone that I would make a good employee was a justification to give me a 3-month trial.
Yep.
But that he said they wouldn't do it, and then he told me stories about their other people's relatives and friends and stuff that they've hired on, and that they just weren't listening to him. And then over the next month or so, I had to listen to a bunch of stories about that were basically based on the same stuff. There with
That's the way it works.
there with
That's the way the world works.
they didn't have they don't have to listen to anyone. They don't have to cooperate with anyone, and
Not
and
necessarily what.
and that's how I learned about the he went to college for 12 years. One day he was on a rant about how he went to college for 12 years to be in the position he's in, and the supervisor that's over him doesn't even qualify to change the transmission fluid in a car, but the supervisor tells him what is or isn't wrong with the car, not the computer that he's being paid to diagnose the car.
That's everywhere. That's everywhere.
And I was just like, okay, there with the, I kind of grasped that idea when you told me I couldn't have a job there. That's what I figured was going on.
I can tell you some horror stories about two different people who got hired on by U.S. Air. Oh man, you talk about the crappiest people in the world when it comes to that crap. They got hired on over people who were twice disqualified.
Yep. Yeah, when that happens, it makes me wonder if they're not hiring looking to hire somebody to blame when that happens.
Well, I'll tell you what, maintenance at the maintenance on aircraft is horrible.
Yeah, that's what my brother Kyle used to do. He went to college to be an airplane mechanic, and he got out of college and went to work as an airplane mechanic. And he wasn't there 2 years before he was trying to figure out something else to do and how to get out of it because he didn't want anything to do with it.
Well, the thing of it is, just because somebody else is dead doesn't mean you have to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was all about. He said it was all just another one of those tales of uh, you have people that are over you that are in charge and kind of that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what it is. And when I got out, I had my AMP license. I had, geez, uh, career minus 18 months experience on C5s. Well, they were opening up a reservist base in Oklahoma for C5s. I was an avionics technician. I knew all the avionics, not just specific ones. You know, like the Air Force splits them up into navigation, radio, radar. Well, I knew all of them. Plus, I got signed off on doing enough stuff on the C5, and a lot of this happened during the Kuwait War when a lot of people were shipped over. I was left in Travis. Normal day, you go in, you got 25 people. Okay, well, when this shit was going on, guess what? You go in there, there's four of you. So we got to change an engine today. Okay, so everybody learned to change an engine. Oh, we got to do an aileron today. Everybody learned to do an aileron. We got to put a hydraulic pack in. Everybody learned to do that. We got landing gear to do troubleshoot. Even though only one guy knew what was going on, the rest out. You learn things. You learn how to troubleshoot by having to do this and that. And so I got my AMP license. So anyways, I got out and I put in for a job. He said, well, we're offering you this job, like the head mechanic. And it's like, who's running it? Well, we hired a master sergeant, a retired master sergeant from the Navy. And I said, I am not working for somebody who doesn't know his job and do his job for him, plus do my job. I said, I ain't gonna do that. So why don't you give me that position? Well, I said, I know I'm more qualified than him. He's in the Navy. He never stepped foot on a C5. I know everything there is about it. You know, so I turned down that job.
Yep, I had that problem when I was going to college. There was a position open up as the auto mechanic teacher at the local high school, and all the auto mechanic teacher had the right to do with the students was to introduce them to the knowledge of auto mechanics. They didn't have the right to like teach them or let them work on vehicles, that kind of stuff. And I filed for the job, and I qualified in that I was legally able to become a teacher. They hired a guy who was a mechanic who had 10 years experience in mechanic who didn't legally qualify to be a teacher. And
For certain teaching positions in high school, you don't need a teaching degree. You just need to get a little certification. Then you can teach that class, like shop class, woodworking, auto mechanic, small engine repair. There's a lot of jobs you can get just by going there. You know what you're doing. Okay, we'll hire you. You can get your certificate. You know.
I repaired my armor, my body armor, and I just jumped from my base to over here to the zone. and they broke from jumping after I spent the material and repaired them with the damn card. My body armor, my out of my power armor body armor. Yeah, it's just the jump over here. What it is, it's got to be a glitch. And I'm getting my butt handed to me. What in the world? Well, technically I was more qualified than him because I had 3 years experience in the actual stuff that you're legally allowed to teach them, and I had a degree in which enabled me to be a teacher. But they went with him because he was 7 years older than me, and he was married and had had children that were out of high school and in high school, and that's how they justified that he was more qualified than me because he was married and had children, and I wasn't married or had children.
Well, and schools get a little bit of leeway too. Now, I can't say that was a bad choice because if I wanted somebody to teach like auto mechanics, I'd rather have one an auto mechanic.
Well, see, at the time, I had worked out of auto mechanic shops twice besides professionally doing that kind of work for companies that do that kind of work. I mean, working for individuals and stuff like that. And I had lots of references and company. The only his reference was working for a dealership, a car dealership. My reference was working for individuals that was.
Let me say something. So, well, I'm just trying to justify a little bit about why they hired him. Okay, he was in work in a place where people get hired to achieve their career. So not only could he teach them that, he could tell them what it's actually like to work as an auto mechanic.
Yeah, he was on the pretend level and I was on the real level, and that was what the problem was.
Yes, but I'm sure he did a good job.
There with I worked with him a couple times before he got that job with out of his own shop and working, and then one of the shops I worked for was one of the hot shops he hired out to do work for him, and he was not very competent at all in the field of auto mechanics. There with not at all, and honestly, I feel safer knowing that he's in a classroom than he is doing work on automobiles. But that's just my personal opinion on him. But I'm not bitter or mad about the whole deal. It's just, you were talking about how they hired that one guy, and I was like, yeah, a story where I felt the same as you there with qualifications isn't what matters. What matters is the social of it.
Okay, to justify his getting hired, okay, he was in an actual management position.
Yeah, they hired a manager, not somebody who knew what they were doing.
Now hold on. In the military, in this type of base, a manager, they say, well, manager manages. No, how can you manage something that you know nothing about? He can't. So it gets put on the people below him to do his job. Whereas, if you work in an area, or say you work for a company, you start out at the bottom, you learn this, you learn that, you learn all the machines, you learn this, you learn that. Well, it's only logical they should eventually move you up to the management position, because you know everything those machines need, you know how many people need to do this, how many people, you learn all those management things, right then and there. But no, somebody's kid goes to college and gets a management degree, and they come in and they expect him to run the place. Well, they can't, because they don't know nothing about it.
Yeah,
It makes sense, and he knows what I'm talking about. I might not explain it properly.
Yeah,
No, that's the way I
that's exactly how I felt about that guy or at a car dealership, but he didn't have the experience of working in auto mechanics in the real world, nor did he have experience teaching school, which I had experience in both, which made me more qualified for the job than him. But he,
People don't see things the same way we do.
and I even had references from the school and members of the school board as well. There with I knew one of the people on the school board, and they were really good friends with another person on the school board. But it doesn't work that way, you know. I would say more than likely somebody who was the narcissistic person in control went into a fit, and they all gave into him or her on what was to be the decision to be made. And there with but yeah, they.
I heard the coolest phrase. Let me say this real quick. It's like, you know, when you're in a fuck situation, he was like, I feel like a sea cucumber and a mermaid orgy. Sorry, just had to lighten the mood. Well, for that sea cucumber, that was pretty good.
Yeah. I just fixed my body armor and it's broke again. I am so freaking mad. If my materials are gone, I'm gonna be so freaking mad.
You're compared to 200%.
Yeah,
Oh, jeez. That don't make sense.
it doesn't. I put on the card and I repaired it to 200%, and I jumped over to Site Charlie, and the minute I arrived to Site Charlie, they were all broke.
I never had that glitch. You got worse luck than we do.
Yeah.
Hey, like I said, I was able to log in a second ago for the first time in like 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, double experience, baby. Tonight I'm gonna kill some people and do their winner. Oh God, it's so long. It's so long. Yeah, I get to get a job soon. My dad's finally fucking retired. So you can get a job. Well, that's excellent. See, things are looking up. Yeah. You really need to meditate. You know what I mean? I try meditating. Fucking crazy. Yeah, I don't think you're meditating the right way. Never meditated. Well, I can show you how. Namaste.
Where did you get the potato at?
Serious meditation does you good. It really does.
Yeah,
You
it.
know, I was one of the first kids on the block diagnosed with ADHD. My brain just fucking clicks. I can't get it peaceful.
The whole key to meditating is to letting go. You have to let go, and it doesn't matter what technique you use or how do you approach it or anything. You have to let go, and you have to train your brain to let go. And it doesn't matter how you sit. It doesn't matter how you breathe. None of that crap matters. All that matters is you train your brain to let go.
I go the opposite of meditation. I keep my demon when it gets out of control.
Well, see, they're there with the. You can't feed the demon. You have to let it go. Mm-hmm.
We got 11 some odd bores already in these fucking traps.
But yeah, act now for $200 a day. I will teach you how to breathe properly and sit properly as you learn to let it go. And anytime you need to discuss your need to vent out because you can't seem to let it go, I will sit and ignore you and everything you say.
I do it like a real man. Don, you know I do it like a real man. You know how I used to take care of my anger management? I'd go play racquetball with this one guy. And I get so pissed off. He says, oh, I don't have anger issues. You can tell, Don. Getting the guy to control the flu. It's fucking tough. But they might actually cancel the Friday delivery. Cancel Japan.
Yeah, one of the guys that work in the medical field that I talked to said that that disease is basically a genetically altered cancer,
Yes, it's a man-made disease to control population.
it's like it's like the flu and the cancer had a baby.
Oh my fucking Christ. You don't know what cancer is,
Yeah, well, my understanding is it's just that the body gets old and the cell and your cells have a tendency to.
every day we have a chance for cancer. Every day just waking up with a lottery tickets to cancer. It's a random mutation of cells.
Exactly.
There are things that have the possibility of mutation, like if you smoke cigarettes, your body breathes cancer, secondary normal oxygen and radiation and shit like that.
Yeah, poisons into the body that your body can't process, and
COVID-19, the thing that's going around right now, which means coronavirus ID-19 from 2019, showed no signs of mutating shit or cancer in the face of it. It's basically a flu that most likely got transferred from an animal. Like, you know how we have the bird flus and all that shit? They're like extra fun.
yeah, I heard that about when they first started talking about it. That they said it was
Science.
it was created from eating raw snake, raw a form of a snake, a raw some snake that they were eating.
Transfer.
Yeah, they're eating making sushi out of snake, and it was from that.
Look, people over there's been doing that kind of stuff for hundreds of years, and then all of a sudden now it comes up. Oh shit! We get this shit all the time, dude. It's just it usually doesn't spread like it did. It's man-made.
Yeah,
I will give you there's a 25% chance it's man-made. Like a 99% chance. I'm gonna give it to nature on the other hand, because nature can make some deadly shit.
Weapons hot.
If you use your flu protocol, you don't fluid transfer, okay. We're gonna make a man-made weapon. They make it more virile than flu. No, they don't want to go completely out of it. Okay. They don't want to wipe out 80% of the population overnight. They just want to start taking it down for a bit at a time. So I've heard all this shit, like in the fucking 90s, dude, who said that the Russians are making a super bug they can send over here that will kill all humanity and then dissipate within 5 years so they can repopulate America. I hear all this shit. I've already heard your man-made theory before, too. I joke with my mom about that. You know, like, yeah, it's not a theory.
hey, Gold.
Look at the history of the past 100 years.
How are
Yeah.
you?
In my Fallout 76 book, this room I'm in right here, this computer's supposed to be working, and when you hack this computer, which is level 3, it opens up the door over here in this maintenance room over here. And for some odd reason, it's not that way anymore. I don't know why.
Hey,
Alright.
Wagon.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm recording, by the way. There, I don't know if your guys' mics are on the recording though, because sometimes when it says it's on the recording, it isn't on the recording, and other times when it says it's not on the recording, it is on the recording. So, okay. And your cussing, please keep it to a minimum. But the video games cuss more than you guys have so far, so.
Well, what's up, Wagon?
Not much. Getting ready to drop a nuke on White Springs on Dawn's server.
Ah.
Now, don't you dare hit the train station.
Okay, so you said put it right on your base, with your base right in the center, right? That's what you said?
Careful. Give me 5 minutes before you drop.
I'll give you a heads up before I drop it. I'll give you a heads up before I drop it.
Because I need to go through all my words, all swap out weapons, lots of crap.
Oh, come on. This room, or is it the other room? The other room.
This is, you're talking 3-star, level 50 sports, 3-star sports beast, right now at the time, like, level 30. He's level 30. Thank God, I hate you.
This room.
Whichever God's out there. All over the map. At least, with that many fingers in your butt, you'll never be constipated. Standing down. You know?
I don't think that's how it works.
Just trying to look for the silver lining.
Okay, because there with the I was kind of half-ass raised on a farm, and that's not how you deal with the animals.
Yeah, we know you use your penis.
No, you actually have to do suppositories. You actually put these like laxatives in their anus, or you feed them food with laxatives in them.
I've seen people with their arm up a cow's butt.
Yeah, actually that's the vagina, and they're usually checking the womb.
But they also get at their stomach. No.
Yeah. You're telling the truth. They do, but usually that's the vagina, and then they're checking the womb.
And you see the little portholes they put in some cows?
Yeah, that's to monitor the food processing of the animals. It's for it's for chemical testing of various foods to see if they process better, and the stomachs.
Yeah, my mom worked on a dairy farm. Like, I used to drive around in the truck and push cows around.
Yeah. I used to carry feed sacks and buck hay bales for what would make a minimum wage job seem like heaven.
Shit, any job right now is having. I'm like, fuck, I'm not first thing in elevators for like Taco Bell, all them motherfuckers. Give me a job. I ain't got no bills right now except helping. Like, when I get a job, I'm gonna help pay fucking the internet and shit. So I should be able to save some money no matter where I go.
But the positive of it is you give me 2 points, and I can put up a fence without putting in a track line.
So you're pretty good at being straight.
Yep, I can put in a fence without putting in a track line. All you have to do is give me 2 points.
So Gold, how's that kid in your basement doing?
One kid in my basement.
You let him out finally? You're too nice. You're such a nice guy.
I didn't have a kid in my basement at all. That's probably Ender. You're probably talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, listen to him and his plausible deniability.
My basement, it's in his. I just visit a lot.
Yeah. He's referencing the case of na boohoo, you have no proof on me.
Have some chili tonight.
Come on, I need the Tinker bench.
Besides, like, lime pie that you can make lime juice.
My friend sends me a meme called "Swiggity Sweetie, I'm coming for that booty."
Lime cookies instead. Yeah, I'll get with you a little bit. What were you saying your friend sent you?
It was a meme, and he sent me a thing with the penguin says, "Swiggity swiggy, I'm coming for that booty."
Still, one of my favorite memes that are thrown around are all the pirate ones where you see the Pirates of the Caribbean motherfucker like, he's the greatest pirate ever. I saw this one dude in like a jazzy chair, this like 90-year-old dude going through like 2 foot of water. That was so funny. Can you put red sponge on there?
Hmm.
Get out.
I have red
I
sponge
think
on.
so.
There with the. I sent you a teaming request, but you never accepted it. Are you guys on team?
Just busy.
All right, yeah. If you guys are on team, send me a team request.
I'll be there as soon as I get my perk card set back up.
This is my builder character, so I don't have to be on team with him. There with the. He doesn't have herd mentality or any of that crap.
Rock knapsack skin that looks like a giant fucking mace. And it makes a special. It's already there. It's in the clothes. No, that's the Stanley bullshit. It's gonna look like actual medieval paint. Stick with a ball at the end. And they're gonna be with some rock knapsack apparel like a throne. Shit, I'm guessing it'll be with a bundle.
Oh crap! I'm using my crystals. I forgot. I can't. I need to repair my gun. Oof. Roof. And I was 2 crit circuits shy of being able to do all the mainframe cores. I wonder how many mainframe cores I have on me right now. Repaired mainframe cores. Oh, I got 14 and 2 stars. I don't know why it uses the ones out of my inventory instead of the star ones every time. Yeah, don't put my armor away. May. Okay. I was wondering about that because they were talking about Wastelanders dropping and everybody was all excited and talking about it, and I said, so we're not getting Frash knocked this year? And they all just like got quiet. Oh, it was funny. Dun 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 dun.
Hey, can this character put an automatic receiver on a my character can? Where are you at? I'm at my base. Okay, give me a second.
Dude, I can with this character. I just bought it the other day. I don't know about the recon scope, but I can do the automatic. There with
I should have everything. I'm on my team. Except jump on me. You got nothing to do for the next 30 minutes. Yeah, the only thing I need is a automatic receiver. That's the only thing I didn't put on this because I thought it's going to use it as a. My base is right in White Springs. Not White Springs. I fast travel to. Yeah.
Water running all over the floor.
I'll drop it on inside here.
Really?
No, that's a fucking bill. You know what's fucked up? I played fucking Clearwater so much, and this is fucking Morgantown. I know exactly where I'm at. This ain't Morgantown. No, this is.
okay, if you deactivate.
Flatwood.
Alright.
Flatwood area.
Go outside.
activate. Come on! Load! Okay. I'm getting attacked by robots. Whoops. I hit the wrong button. And then wanted.
I know just what I heard that.
Come on!
Oh, I gotta get outside the map and get my fucking fireman's helmet.
What the hell? Oh, I should have chose the damn robots first. Last time I chose the robots first, and I got to turn off the damn robots for this.
5 oil.
Okay, now turn off the damn robots. Shut down all robots. Thank you. Now, move targeting systems.
Hold up. There you go.
Okay.
It's
Can't
automatic
control.
right?
Thank you.
For some reason I thought it was automatic.
Deactivate turrets. And what is this, an Assaultron? Yeah, it's an Assaultron. There. Are you happy, Assaultron? You no longer function.
And you say the scope? No, everything else is good. All I need is the automatic. Everything else is set up.
Control room active. All stations standing by.
My chip phone time.
Initiate the launch prep sequence. Launch prep sequence. Initiate. All stations. All stations.
Well, did you see the option of the 60 bag? Now it tells you to drop on both death bag, drop bag, death bag. You have the option to change. So like if you want to have your ore drop when you die, or if you drop like the whole bag, it'll fucking just drop the whole bag.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I wish I would have had the money for it. That would have been awesome, because that's what I was thinking would be a good way to do it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I walked through Flatwoods yesterday, and that gravestone that spawns occasionally was there. I was so happy to see it again. Almost cried. What in the hell is shooting at my robots? It's a Mr. Gussie. And there went my gun. I knew it. I need 4 crystals so I can fix my stupid gun. I only needed 2, and I was trying to cut weight, and I made a couple of cryos, and then I remembered that I needed crystals for that. was trying to remember where that farm is that's full of potato flour, and for some odd reason, I'm drawing a blank on it. I don't understand why. Mr. Gutsy. Yeah, I haven't been getting any sleep the last couple of days. It was so bad this morning. I'm actually drinking. I actually drank caffeine this morning. First time I drank caffeine in probably a week, maybe 2. Yeah, hold on just a second. As soon as this is done, I'll go into freeze mode before I drop it. Eat a bite. Ah, one of my robots got destroyed. Why is there a brain bot attacking me?
Yeah, Doc, you're right next to my hotel. Because I always thought the overseas camp and the gang of bots walked down the road to this hotel and I go on the flat.
Come on, the reason my axe isn't hurting the sentry, the Saltron. Yeah. I got in on that the other day. I went in there to the purveyor and there was a bunch of weapons in there instead of the randomization. I bought a couple of them.
That's because they were glitching out. Because the purveyor was actually giving script sold the weapons to him via using the
Technical data. Alright, I'm gonna go grab a bite to eat before I set this off. I'll be right back.